Alright lads, welcome to another stream. It's a very big game tonight. It's the biggest game in League One for a long time, of course. It's been quite a competitive league, especially since the restart and the even shorter league campaign that's been made in League One. But this tonight could decide it. If Partick win, that is the league title finished and they will be crowned champions. If Falkirk can win, then it becomes in their own hands, and if they win their remaining games, they will be crowned champions. If Partick can just see out the rest of the season and not be defeated, then it should be enough for them to go up as champions regardless anyway. So there is a lot riding on it for Partick tonight. Essentially, they can keep it within their own hands by just not losing. So anything but Falkirk win tonight, I think. Basically, Partick need to win or draw, and they're pretty much guaranteed to be league champions this season in Scottish League One. But the big one is tonight. They'll be wanting to finish it off early as possible, and I'm looking forward to it. It's the first time I've used Partick Thistle TV, and I have been quite amused by some of the wee things that they do in there. They get the virtual mascot to announce the team lines and stuff. That's been quite funny. It's a wee 7-8-year-old and reads out the team lines and stuff, so that's been quite pleasing. But we'll get the team lines in just now, just before the teams are actually away to come out. So for the home side, Partick Thistle, we have Jamie Sneddon in goal, Ryan Williamson at right back, James Penrice at left back, Darren Brownlee and Stephen Bell in central defence. I would imagine it's a midfield two of, Ricky Foster's there. Is that a back five for Partick Thistle? Could be. So Williamson right wing back, Penrice left wing back, Darren Brownlee, Stephen Bell. Where's Ricky Foster playing? Anyway, the lineup is Sneddon, Williamson, Penrice, Brownlee, Stephen Bell, Bannigan, Brian Graham, Zach Rudden, Scott Tiffany, Richard Foster, and Docherty. And on the bench is Kieran Wright, Joe Cardle, my man Joe Cardle, Lyons, Shea Gordon, McKenna, Murray, Yang, Ross McKeither, and Andy Gagan. And for Falkirk, the lineup is Robbie Much, Scott Mercer, Gary Miller, Blair Alston, Lewis Nielsen, Robbie Leach, Connor Salmon, Kai Fotheringham, Stephen Kelly, I want to say, Callum Morrison, and McClellan, don't know his first name. Subs, Cantley, Mark Dunnan, Aidan Keena, Dowds, Anton Dowds, Morgaro Gomez, Akil Francis, Kieran Laverty, and Sneddon. So there's some decent players out on the pitch tonight. Notable mentions within the Partick lineup are, for me anyway, ex-Dunfermline players such as Ryan Williamson at right back, Stephen Bell, ex-Dunfermline player as well, Andy Gagan, ex-Dunfermline, and Joe Cardle, both of those latter two on the bench. Conor Murray's a good option off the bench as well. There's a lot of well-known names in that Partick lineup. I don't think you'd find many people not knowing a lot of those players that are on the pitch for Partick tonight, so it's a pretty experienced Partick lineup. Whereas when you look at the Falkirk lineup, there is some experienced names in there, but there's also a lot of youngsters in there, like Kai Fotheringham and Robbie Leach and Lewis Nielsen, stuff like that. So, and McClelland as well, who I believe is a youngster, but I don't actually know where he has come from, who he's on loan from, or anything like that, or if he's a Falkirk youth player. But regardless, that's the lineups for tonight. And I've already seen a wee comment up above, Hammy HD coming in, saying he's going for 3-2 Partick tonight, but he has said that if I can predict the score on stream and get it exact, then he'll donate £5. So I will go for I'll go for I think it has to be a Thistle win tonight. So I'm going to go for ambulance, please. fire engine. I'm going to go for a 2-0, 2-1. 2-1 Thistle. 2-1 Partick Thistle win, and then we lift the League One title. Well, be crowned as champions anyway tonight. So I'll be waiting on the £5 donation when that one does come through. Callum Coyle saying 3-0 Partick. Max Smith going for 1-1, and hello to you too, Max. Hello, Peter. Carl Swan going for 2-2. Sarim says hello. Callum Swan, all about Mighty Man United. No. Not here, Scottish football all the way. 4-4-2 is it? 4-4-2. Penrice left, and Penrice has been moved up the pitch. Right, that's fair enough. Obviously, in my time watching Penrice, I've always known him as a left back, but was moved up the pitch. So it'll be, I assume that means it'll be Ryan Williamson at right back and Richard Foster at left back, with Bell and Brownlee in centre defence. We're 2 minutes into the game, though. I forgot to say that kickoff has actually happened. Falkirk have just cleared it up to the mighty Connor Salmon. Falkirk have got an incentive here as well, though they do have ambitions, obviously, to lift this League One title as well. So they will be coming out to win this game. So I do expect goals. I don't expect a 0-0 draw here at all, because Partick have something to win. They want to win to crown themselves as champions tonight, and Falkirk want to keep themselves well in it and put it in their own hands if they can get a win tonight. So, as I said, I'm expecting goals, but I do think that with Partick being at home and they know exactly what this fixture will mean to the club and stuff like that, I think we're going to see a Partick win here tonight, as a Partick throw-in takes place. I'm not streaming it for people to watch because, as Hammy goes on to say, I'd get copyrighted, so no, I won't be. Anyone know where you can get the stream? I'm watching it through Partick Thistle's club streaming account, so you can maybe go via their Twitter. I'm not sure if you can buy it after the game started, but I am watching it on their own streaming platform. Lewis has gone for a 2-0 Partick. Andrew McIntyre has gone for a 2-1 Falkirk. Rudden and a double of Morrison. And something of Morrison. Who knows? The LBView an-inch Cardinal winner. You'd love to see it. You would love to see it. If it's Joe Cardle to score the winning goal, then I'll be delighted. Anthony Green, how's things, mate? One of my pals plays for Partick Thistle. His name's Dan Brownlee. Cool. I'm fine. How are you? Hammy HD is watching on, and then he put a separate comment that we do not promote on this channel. Mothers Football, Xander Clark. Obviously, we're talking about these, the Xander Clark assisted the other night in the Scottish Cup. Big moment. That's what we love the Scottish Cup for. Partick Thistle just won a corner, though. Zach Rudden doing well there and getting a corner off the defender. Early chance to put the ball in the box. I'm fine, Chris. How are you? Dan the Man is going for a 1-0 Thistle. Zach Rudden winner. Let's see how this game pans out. Just under 5 minutes in, Partick are putting the ball in the box here. Just cleared by the Falkirk defenders. Shot back in though, and a save by Robbie Much. Yes. So an early shot there for Partick. Early chance for the corner, but cleared the way to the edge of the box. And I'm not entirely sure who took the shot, but it was a low drive, but well gathered by the Falkirk goalie Much. So if you want to get involved in the chat, please do so. It'd be good to kind of get some frequent chat going throughout the night. Obviously, you're not watching the game. You're pretty much watching it for my recollection of the game, basically. But I'll try and keep you up to date with everything that does happen in the game. Obviously, with goals, etc., and moments that happen. DFC News. All right, Ben. Hello. What am I using for the stream setup? I'm using StreamYard, and I've designed all these graphics that are around me on Photoshop. Mothers Football. All Hibs have to do to get Europa League group stages beat Dundee United and St Johnstone twice, though. I know, but I mean, we said this earlier about in the season about Hibs in the League Cup. We all thought, like, after Rangers were knocked out, that Hibs were the favourites to go on and win that, and then they never. So it's not a set thing that Hibs are going to go on and win this trophy. United fans, Richard Foster's calling about Seagrist. Sorry, I'm not going to comment on things like that just because it's I know what you mean. Chris has good tackle by Richard Foster there. Falkirk got into the box, but a good challenge to intercept the attack. So try and break, but can't do so. Oh wait, they've got the ball back here. Foul to Partick Thistle. He's done the £3 trial for Cove, Falkirk and East Fife. Cove are playing Montrose, I believe. Falkirk obviously playing Partick Thistle. And East Fife potentially playing Airdrie? Or... Aye, must be Airdrie. Aye. So, that's a decent enough wee treble. I would say the toughest one for you to get out of that three will be the Falkirk one, just because I think Partick have a lot to play for here. Scott Tiffany on the wing here puts the ball into the box, but well grabbed by Robbie Much, claiming the ball in his box. Scott Doherty. St Johnstone don't win the cup, I'll have a full-on fit. Can't stomach the thought of Hibs or United lifting it. I wouldn't mind Hibs. Like, I would be delighted for Kevin Nisbet to lift the Scottish Cup in his first season as a Hibs player, and potentially his only season, because he's going to attract interest in the summer, I believe. But St Johnstone winning it would be a good story. Callum Davidson winning 2 trophies in his debut season as a manager. He can't have so much better than that. Alan Paul says Hearts and Partick Thistle promotion. Aye, they would love that. Both those clubs would love that, considering how they felt they were treated by the SPFL. We'll not get too much into that, but they would definitely love that outcome, considering how they felt they were treated. As far as I'm aware, there is no other stream apart from Partick Thistle's club stream, so that's that. Who do I think will win League One, Falkirk over Partick? Obviously, tonight's game will play a massive part in that. I think I said only last week I'd go for Cove, but clearly it's in Partick's hands at the moment. All they have to do is win the remaining games, including this one, and that's them over the line. So we'll wait and see. But at the moment, Falkirk have a free kick on the edge of the box-ish, out on the wide area. Blair Olsen lifts it in, but it's cleared by Partick. Zach Rudden pass it to Bannigan. Bannigan then plays it across the pitch for Scott Tiffany, who doesn't get the best of touches on it. And the Falkirk defender does well to kick it off Tiffany and get a throw in himself. Ben Pollock asked to get paid from YouTube. Not very much at all, really. So, no. I mean, I do, but as I said, it really is not much. I have a full-time job outside of this that I do 45 hours Monday to Friday, so really not enough to actually class it as a wage, put it that way. Brett Dunley, do we win tonight and we can still win the league? Indeed you can. If you win tonight, then it's in your own hands. Falkirk, that would be, of course. So it's a game that's completely up for grabs, and that's the intriguing thing about it. That's why I've chosen to stream this one night, because it's just such a massive game. And as you're saying, Partick, if they win tonight, they will be confirmed champions. So apparently Queen's Park 1-0 against Edinburgh City. Queen's Park are just rip-roaring themselves towards. It's a corner. Such a free kick. Brian Graham headed it on, but well wide. Queen's Park already confirmed as champions of League Two. They're relentless. They haven't lost a game yet. So it really is impressive stuff for them. Clearly they had a big budget and stuff, but to go out and actually do it on the pitch, and I think with this win it could potentially be 18 wins and 3 draws, I think. It's very impressive stuff for Queen's Park. There's Randy Malone coming in. Queen's Park assist from there. They did. Well done, Andy. Well done. Dan Phil Thompson, Hibs for the Cup. I mean, they are favourites. You've got to say that. Albeit St Johnstone have done well and they've won a cup this season, but on paper, Hibs being the third best team in the country, they should go on to be favourites. But good defending for Falkirk there, ball in the box, but cleared from, I think it was McClelland. Dangerous ball in, good area, but Partick are relentless here though. Stuart Bannigan back in. Well grabbed by Robbie Much. It has to be said, he's done that a couple of times so far. He's came out and claimed the ball very well. That's what you want your goalies to do. Decent ball in by Stuart Bannigan. Brian Graham was running in on it and all it needed was a tap, but Robbie Much came out and got there before him. Do you think Dundee United can win the Scottish Cup? I mean, with the 4 teams that are left, anyone's got a chance now. As I said, you would expect Hibs just on paper to be the favourites, but Zach Drudden? Nah, Falkirk goalie's got that. You would expect Hibs to still be the favourites, but St John's have already proved that this season that they can go on and win one of the domestic cups. Dundee United have got a good chance, good result against Aberdeen, of course. And of course, you've still got St Mirren there as well, who are kind of the dark horses of the competition, the ones that are getting kind of forgotten about. So it's a corner, Partick Thistle at the very moment. Mark Smith coming in, reminding me they lost 1-0 last week. Andy, come on, Ben. I know, I slipped there. My Scottish football knowledge. Dan the man, you missing going to Dunfermline games? Of course, who's no missing going to see their team week in, week out? So it's a corner to Partick Thistle here. Ball's going to be lifted in by James Penrice. Ball in. Robbie Much once again claiming the ball for a cross ball. Very, very good play for the guy. You love to see goalies doing that. I've said it already. It's just what you need. Confidence to come out and just grab it and alleviate all the pressure. Partick have given it away really cheaply there in the middle of the park, but Connor Salmon plays a terrible ball up. Just playing a ball through to Callum Morrison over the top, but it's terrible. On a scale of 1 to 10, how pish is Stevens Bakery? I actually find it quite decent. I'm not going to slander Stevens Bakery on this channel. Scott Docherty should get it even for what he's done now, to be honest. What was your comment about earlier on? Can't remember. Oh, aye. Kevin is, but Hibs, I would imagine you're talking about. Aye, he deserves his move. Scored a lot of goals, Scotland call-up, hopefully going to the Euros as well. So aye. Wraith for promotion. I'll be hoping for Dunfermline promotion, personally. But they've played well this season, Wraith. Can't deny that. Sean Kelly, that's this guy's name, no Stephen Kelly. Ball in by Falkirk here. Good defending by Thistle, though. Falkirk are pushing just as much as Thistle, I'd say here. There isn't much between the sides at the moment. Roy Much has been doing well to command his box, which has seen Thistle's opportunities be quite slim in terms of actual shots on goal. How can Ray do that to Falkirk but win the league with Queen's Park? I know, you'll be seething about that, especially the fact that Queen's Park are now playing their games at the Falkirk Stadium. So he's going to lift a league title at the Falkirk Stadium. You think, well, this guy thinks Dunfermline won the playoffs. Hope you're right. Oh, right. Fair enough, Scott. Jack Durham, if Dunfermline don't get promoted, would you rather see a Premier League team come down or Wraith Dundee to get promoted? What would be the best for the rebuild? I wouldn't say we need a rebuild after that, to be honest. I think we've got a decent enough spine of a team. What would be good for a promotion push, a proper promotion push, like going for a league title, I think would be a team for the Premiership coming down. Hamilton, I think, are going to come down. Probably the best team to come down for us would be, I don't know, because Ross County are going to come down and have money. Definitely. They were in the league last time and won it because they had one of the best budgets in the league. Roy McGregor is always going to have a big budget when he has Ross County in the Championship. So it's a difficult one with that side of things. Kilmarnock's a tricky one as well because they'll have good players, no doubt about that. But they'll lose a lot of their players as well because a lot of them are out of contract. So maybe Kilmarnock coming down would be the best outcome for Dunfermline. Because I think a Championship team will go up this year. I'm hoping it'll be Dunfermline, of course. But I think a Championship team will go up, along with Hearts, of course, who've already confirmed their place. Football Prime Ginger, hello. Ruben, who would you like to see the Pars bring in this summer? I think that's a conversation for another day. It's a very long conversation, to be honest. We just need to wait and see what league we're in first and who decides to actually leave. Obviously, Ewan Murray's out of contract. See what happens with him. And Kel Turner, what will be the situation with him? Will he just move on now? Looks like it, obviously, but we'll wait and see. I think I'll leave a few more weeks for that. James Penrice here, though. Oh, shot well saved by Robbie Much. It was straight at Robbie Much, but a good save and parried away from his goal. Chris Morton fan is not too looking forward to tomorrow night's game against Arbroath, and I would probably echo your thoughts if I was a Morton fan. It's a very important game, that. Would be good to see you at Starks Park again in a few weeks. I mean, Dundee will be looking at it as hoping to get second place as well. So it could potentially be the first playoff game that he plays in. Who knows? Scott Tiffany's in the box here. I don't know, saved by Robbie Much. It wasn't the best shot. Played through by Zach Rudden into the box. Tried to put it across Robbie Much. But just a bit of a team effort in the end, really. Not enough on it to get it past him. Football Rangers, you see Cove get promoted this season. They've had some young, bright players this season, like the Ross Graham, Adam Livingston. I mean, Cove have been very strong. They'll be unlucky to miss out on a double promotion back-to-back, obviously due to two full-time teams being in the division, because at this very moment, they currently are anyway. They're pushing both Falkirk and Partick, but Ryan Williamson here on the run down the wing, James Penrice, Stuart Bannigan on the edge of the box. It's going to be a shot here somewhere. Scott Tiffany on the wing now. Takes a shot, but miles over. But I think Cove have got just as much of a chance as any of the playoff teams that go into it. I think they'll be just short of the automatics. I think that'll pretty much be confirmed tonight. So I'm thinking it's going to be a Partick Thistle win here. So I think Cove are strong enough, along with the likes of Falkirk, to beat a Championship team, whether that be Ayr United, Arbroath, or Morton, because those are the three teams involved. So I think there's every chance that Cove could get promoted, and I'd love to see it because it'd be a new ground for me to go to next season when we return to grounds. Brett Dunleavy, who will finish second bottom in the Championship? He thinks Ayr. If Andy Malone is still in this chat, I'm sure he may end up agreeing with you because he's an Ayr fan. And we've been chatting a lot this season. And he seems to kind of think that Ayr are pretty much doomed for relegation at this point. So I think he would probably say Ayr, and at the moment, based on form, you may go with Ayr. I get a bad feeling about Morton for some reason. I've always kind of had that feeling about Morton, that they're always kind of like they have that in them to get relegated. And I just think it may happen, but Chris's Morton TV will not like me saying that, of course. Stuart Bannigan here plays it into Zach Rudden, cuts in, loads of Falkirk players crowding him. Back to Bannigan, through to Brian Graham though. Blocked by the Falkirk defender and over the bar. Must have come off Brian Graham last though, because it's gone out for a goal kick. Very good chance there for Partick to at least get a shot away. They did, but well defended by Lewis Nielsen on loan for Dundee United. But it must have come back off Brian Graham because the referee's given a goal kick and nobody really complained. Kieran Barr, what happened to Kel Turner? I thought he was doing well at Dunfermline. He was. I believe it's a contractual dispute, pretty much. He was given a contract by us. And he didn't want to sign it. Stevie Crawford wasn't too pleased with that side of things and has decided to let him go out on loan to Airdrie and just never really play for Dunfermline. It is a shame because he was player of the month in the Championship in in the month of November, played really well. We were top of the league. And then he just kind of got fizzled out. And as you say, he's gone on loan to Airdrie, and that's that. So it is a bit disappointing, but that's that. 1-0 East Fife. People are letting me know. Cheers for letting us know all the live scores, lads. I don't mind if he's ruined the score here. I'm not that heavily invested in these games that I get bothered with that type of thing. You can do whatever you want, really. First time watching a year Thistle fan. No, I'm a Dunfermline fan, but very much a fan of Scottish football. If you look back on the channel, obviously over a year ago, I used to go to a lot of games, vlogging up and down the country. I've covered a lot of different games. So if you're interested, stick around and subscribe to the channel. Daniel Riley, reckon Falkirk will get a result today. I mean, they haven't shown much in the attacking sense of things. Partick have definitely been far more up the pitch and actually creating chances. In the earlier stages of the game, it was about 50-50, but Partick have definitely had a bit of the play in the last 10-15 minutes-ish. But it's still 0-0, 22 minutes in. St Mirren for the Scottish Cup. I mean, as I said, with Dundee United earlier and Hibs and St Johnstone, all of these teams will fancy their chances now, just because they would all class themselves in roughly the same boat. Outside of Rangers and Celtic, if you can get yourselves in the cup competitions and they're not left in it, you'll fancy your chances of winning the cup. So whoever goes on and wins it, I'll be delighted, because it's a difference from seeing the usual kind of, mainly Celtic in the last few years, obviously, but in history, it's been Rangers and Celtic that have dominated these kind of competitions. So hopefully we can see, we will see a more provincial club win it this season. Finn Moore, what teams do you support apart from Dunfermline? I wouldn't really say I support any other teams. I've got a soft spot for the local team, Alva, but that's just because they are the local team, and I think a lot of people kind of have that just wee affiliation with a local team. I've been involved with Alva, and I've done graphics for their programme and stuff. I was invited to do commentary for one of their games earlier this season. I'm good pals with one of the guys there. So, I would class Alloa as a team I have a soft spot for, but in terms of supporting other teams, I didn't really have any that I actually support in the same way that I support Dunfermline. Chris says he was a tool. He was baking an hour ago. Took it out of the oven, didn't turn out, and then realised I forgot to put eggs in the mix. Damn. Lessons learned, Chris. Lessons learned. Better luck next time. Scott Tiffany on the edge of the box here. He's really man-marked there. I think they've got two men marking Scott Tiffany, because he's been one of Thistle's main men in the last few while. So I think Falkirk are trying to do a bit of a job on him to try and mark him out of the game. Callum Morrison here trying to run through. The Partick defender's been given a free kick there, because the referee believes that Morrison fouled the defender, but by the looks of things, the Falkirk defender, the Thistle defender, literally just tripped. So that's a bit of a bad call. Gregor Moore. We'll go wherever someone go. Take it. You're a St Mirren fan then, Gregor. Brett Dunleavy. Falkirk win today, do you think we can win the league? Well, if you win the day, then it is in your own hands. So there is really no reason why you couldn't go on and do it. You just need to win the remainder of your games. It would just be down to yourselves at that point. But there's a lot riding on this game tonight, so we'll wait and see what happens. Callum Morrison played through here down the wing, putting the ball in the box. Connor Salmon was there, but there was two Partick Thistle defenders, and they've done a good job at clearing it. They are now on the break with Zach Rudden. He needs to try and get the better of McClelland here. Plays it back to Bannigan, out to Scott Tiffany, who's going to try and run it down the wing, but runs out of play. Mega Timmy Smith, do you fancy Dundee or the wee team first in the playoffs? Cheers for calling them the wee team. I don't know. I mean, it's much a muchness. They're both good teams on their day. We haven't beaten Dundee this season. 2 draws and a loss. We've beaten Wraith once, drawn once, and lost once. So it's a mixed bag with Wraith. And it's a Fife derby. It's a playoff game. I kind of want to see it, just because and if we can win, it'd be great. But then you'd be on such a high for that you wouldn't want to lose any of the playoff games, and there's every chance you could. So I'm really not sure. At this point, I'm just kind of going to take it as it comes and hope for the best, and hope we can get promoted one way or another. Bet don't need to say need to keep running quiet. There's quite a few threats for Partick Thistle here. Brian Graham's been scoring goals, Zach Rudden's been scoring, and Scott Tiffy's been keeping them in games as well. And Thistle also have the threats of like Joe Cardle coming off the bench, who's not been shy of an assist or two this season as well. So I'd say it's a tough game for Falkirk tonight. I think the stronger squad here is Partick Thistle's. So that's why I'm going for a 2-1 Thistle win. I think they'll win the game, but I think they'll make it difficult for themselves just because of the pressure that's on them to win this game. Kieran Ross ready to win the playoffs. Oh, I hope no, man. I mean, they do. If they do end up doing it, of course they'll deserve it. They're finished at the moment. They sit second best in the league, second place, of course. And I can't deny they're a fantastic team to watch when they're at their best. So all credit to them this season. They've come up for League One and absolutely smashed it. But do I want to see them promoted? No, because I doubt they'd want the same for us. Who do I think will win? I've just obviously kind of covered that a bit. I think Partick Thistle will win this one tonight, 2-1, and crown themselves as champions of League One. Evan Warner, Ayr United fan, met him at a game once. Do you say Ayr avoiding the relegation playoff tomorrow night? I was kind of speaking about it a wee bit earlier. I've got a funny feeling that Morton might muck it up for themselves. So I think overall, I don't know. Ayr just aren't on form at all at the moment. Morton are picking up sneaky wee points here and there like they always do. I've just got a funny feeling that Morton might mess it up. But Ayr do need to get a result because at the moment they are 9th. So Callum Morrison had a chance there though for Falkirk. Shot wide though. First real chance for Falkirk. First real shot. Thistle players were calling for offside. Morrison got the shot away, but as I said, wide and not too much to write home about. Kieran Ross rated to Livingston. That would be massive for a club like Raith because I don't even think I was alive the last time they were in the Premiership. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was born in 2000. Have Raith been in the Premier League since then? I couldn't even tell you. Ryan Williamson here, crossing the box. Zach Rudden, and it's a goal for Partick Thistle. That could be the league-winning goal. Partick Thistle are 1-0 ahead against Falkirk. Ryan Williamson with a pinpoint delivery. Poor defending for Falkirk, it has to be said. Zach Rudden was left free in the box. Maybe a good bit of movement from the man. But it is 1-0 Partick Thistle. And they are one step closer to lifting the Scottish League One title this season. Zach Rudden has been a talisman for Partick Thistle this season. Ryan Williamson cuts inside and bullet header for Zach Rudden. Well placed into the bottom right hand corner. Robbie Much rooted to the spot on his line. And it is 1-0 Partick Thistle. Half an hour in. Let's get this scoreline changed, lads. Good to see a goal in this game. I wanted to see goals. I was expecting goals, but you just never know, eh? So good to see a goal. And it might open up the game now. Partick might want to go and get that second one just to seal things. Whereas Falkirk will need another goal to keep themselves in the league title race. So, very good start for Partick Thistle. They've been on top in terms of chance creation. And now it's just a case of either holding on or getting a couple more goals just to definitely seal it for them. What an important goal that is. Their fans will be absolutely loving it. They're on top here at the moment though. Ryan Williamson again going down the right hand side here. He was brought back into the side today for this chance creation. He's won his side a corner. Classic Ryan Williamson stuff there. I know him from his time at Dunfermline, of course, and he was well known for those runs down the wing, those galloping runs down the wing with his long legs and just getting the better of defenders more often than not. His crossing ability was at times a bit questionable, but that delivery for Zach Rudden was pinpoint. So it's a corner to Partick Thistle, currently 1-0. So another header, and it's going to break, and it's a goal! Scott Tiffany makes it 2-0 to Partick Thistle. I've not even had a chance to make it 1-0 on my scoreboard, and it is 2-0 to Partick Thistle. The ball broke to Scott Tiffany after it was ricocheted around from a corner kick, and it is now 2-0 to Partick Thistle. And within a few minutes, it looks like that could potentially be game over. What a time to be a Partick Thistle fan. Corner in from James Penrice. Header from a Partick Thistle player, ricocheted off a Falkirk defender, broke straight to Scott Tiffany, who powered it into the back of the net, and the goalie had absolutely no chance with that one. And it is now 2-0 to the Jags on a very important night for the club and every fan involved. What a start for them. 32 minutes in, and we are... I can update the scoreline now properly. Where are we? This graphic. Sorry I've not been keeping up with the comments. It's just been a manic last 2 minutes in this game. But here we go. 2-0, Partick Thistle. Now we're back up to date. Kieran Ross goes on to claim the question that I asked. 1998 was the last time that Wraith Rovers were in the Premiership. So yes, I've never been alive. I have now been alive when Scotland have qualified for the Euros. I've never been alive when Wraith have been a Premiership team, so it'd be a strange circumstance to see them up there. But here we go, Falkirk in the mud. Falkirk bottling it. Aye. Zach Rudden wins a foul here. Oh, terrible foul by Gary Miller. Didn't need to foul him there. Zach Rudden wasn't really going anywhere. He didn't have any support, but Falkirk just giving away a needless foul there on the edge of the box. More near the corner. But a good position for Bannigan to swing it in for potentially a Partick Thistle third goal. So it's been a tremendous start for Partick Thistle. You cannot say anything else but that. Kevin Cash, hello. Hello to you too, Kevin. And Wraithland would be no chance. No chance of see leaving Cooners out just to go to Wraith Rovers. Sorry. No happening. If it does, I like my hat, but no having it. Thistle will be playing with utter confidence now. Falkirk, as I said, they weren't out the pitch beforehand, and I just cannot see them doing anything else in this game. I said 2-1 Partick at the time. If the score stayed like this and it gets a bit cagey at the end, Falkirk might get a wee goal to spicing things up, but I don't know. I can't see Falkirk doing much in the rest of this game. I just think Partick are going to be playing with utter confidence in the rest of this game and might get a couple more. You never know. It's that early on in this game that they could do it. Ball through for Callum Morrison there, but cleared by Brownlee in the Partick Thistle defence. But Falkirk trying to come back here. Scott Tiffany going back and doing his defensive work, which will be pleasing for Partick Thistle fans to see. Attacking player also doing the defensive work. You'll have to see that for your players. James Penrice on the right-hand side for a bit here, but kind of going at the centre of the park, but a ball through to Zach Rudden, who cuts back inside, and a ball back in. James Penrice! Offside or a foul. That would have been a tremendous goal. I was holding my breath there. It was a brilliant ball by Zach Rudden, and Penrice controlled it up in the air, and it spun over the Falkirk defender's head, and he just tapped it away, but I think it was given for a high boot because it's just very close to the Falkirk player's head, essentially. So it would have been a very good goal, but not to be. Don't know how James Penrice found himself up there. Andy Malone, willing to bet that Falkirk social media team worse the social media blackout study already. Aye. Been thinking about that actually. It's a very good initiative, obviously, that clubs are doing, but it's obviously going to mean that like championship teams, etc., won't be able to comment on their games apart from on their website. So if the likes of Ayr do end up on promotion in a relegation playoff place, tomorrow night. They won't have to comment on it immediately on their social media. But Falkirk can't get away from that now. They have to comment on this. So it's an interesting point, that. Well, Alloa go up next season. I think they will struggle, to be honest, and finish eighth in League One. No, I'm not going to have that. I think they'll be up there in the promotion playoffs. At the very least, it'll very much depend on who is still in League One. If the likes of Partick, Falkirk, or Cove, if two of those go up into the Championship, Alloa could have every chance of giving someone a run for their money for a league title, and definitely for a promotion playoff place. I would not have them anywhere near 8th place in that league. Whether I get live stream Partick Thistle's official club channels, not promoting any dodgy streams over here. Brett Dunleavy's salmon up top on his own is horrid. And it's certainly not silky, sexy football, is it? And I can't say he's touched the ball very much. I can't say many Falkirk attackers have so far. So it'll be interesting to see if they can somehow get themselves back into the game, but it doesn't look like it at the moment. Everyone will watch tomorrow night in the Somerset Road End group chat if we lose. I mean, it'll be difficult for Ayr because I think a lot of the teams in League One are capable of certainly beating that out of form Championship side. So it'll be intriguing to see who does finish in that place and then what goes on to happen in those playoffs. Callum Morrison here, though, in the box for Falkirk. Tries to get a ball in, but completely sklaffs that cross into the box. And Partick clear it. Falkirk trying to get a wee bit of momentum here now, though. Only to no avail, though. Clearances for the Thistle defence. And back to the Falkirk goalie. So Thistle doing well on all fronts here. Scott Fleming, don't see Alloa struggling that bad. I completely agree with him, to be fair. Third, fourth, potentially even second. And as I said, depending on who's in the league, potentially first. You never know. It just depends what type of squad they build and what manager they bring in, of course, with Peter Grant leaving. Kieran Ross, who do you think will be the new Falkirk and Alloa manager? That'll be an interesting one as well. I think Darren Young might be in for a move somewhere. Potentially a move to Falkirk might suit him. He's always kind of been due a move to a bigger club, and despite being in the same league, obviously, if they stay down as East Fife, I think Darren Young might see full-time football as a good opportunity for him. I wouldn't see him taking the Alloa job, not at all, because they're essentially the same thing. Alloa will be in the same league and they'll be part-time, so I wouldn't see a benefit of him leaving East Fife for Alloa. Whoever gets the Alloa job will be interesting. Andy Graham had his hat in the ring the last time round before Peter Grant was appointed, so that could be an option. So keep an eye out for that one. It's certainly interesting to see what happens there. I would have Darren Young for Falkirk manager, and if I was to make a punt on someone, at the moment, the only name I can really think of for Alloa manager would be Andy Graham, because Alloa have a track record of promoting from within, the likes of Jim Goodwin, of course. Was a good one for that. And I think that Andy Graham might be well suited to that. I think it's the right time in his career as well, because he didn't look the same player this past season. Down the right hand side here for Williamson again, he's been a massive threat for Partick Thistle in this opening half of football. But it's brought back inside, and I think Partick are just going to try and maybe see themselves out until half time. Potentially go for a third, but I think they'll be quite happy. Oh, Brian Graham's got himself some space. What a goal! What a goal! What a goal! 25 yards out, screamer into the bottom right-hand corner of the goal, bottom left-hand if you're looking at it. Tremendous strike for Brian Graham, and it's 3-0 to Partick Thistle. What a finish. He found himself some space. I was just saying they might see it out till half-time, and then Brian Graham, out of nowhere, just found himself a yard or two of space, no Falkirk defenders really around him, and a tremendous strike into the bottom corner. Robbie Much, pretty much no chance. I think he got a slight fingertip to it, but the strike was so powerful that it just went straight past him. And that is 3-0 to the Jags. And that has to be the league title wrapped up. They've come out here with every notion that they're going to win this league tonight, and it looks like they're going to do that. 41 minutes in, and it's Partick Thistle 3, Falkirk 0. And for all, this was a very important game for Partick Thistle. It was even more important from a Falkirk standpoint, and they have royally screwed over their own prospect here because they could have put it in their own hands if they'd won the night. But it is certainly not going to happen now. There is no chance that this is going to, this scoreline is going to be made back by them at this point. They've been nowhere in this game at all in this half so far. So there is the scoreline changed on the graphic, 3-0. Let's get back to the comments. Scott Fleming, indeed, 3-0. Laughing emoji. Kieran Ross, Falkirk should go for Stuart Petrie. There's a shout. I very much like Stuart Petrie. However, I do not think he would go to Falkirk. Not at all. He's a Dunfermline Hall of Famer, and I just can't see it. I know there has been instances, where Stevie Crawford's gone to Wraith, Cardle's gone to Wraith. There's been numerous occasions where people have crossed that wee divide, if you want to call it that, between Dunfermline and Falkirk and Wraith and stuff, but I just don't see Stuart Petrie doing that, especially when he does have a really good job outside of football. So Falkirk are at the pitch here at the moment. No, Blair Olsen's about to take a corner kick with a few minutes to go in the first half. Takes it, it's relatively short, gets the ball in. Sean Kelly. Oh, header for Callum Morrison there, just wide of the post. Could have been a wee consolation for Partick there. Looks like I'm not getting my fiver for Hammy, by the way. Earlier on the stream, he said I'd get a £5 donation if I got the score right, and I said 2-1. It's now 3-0, so the score's kind of out the window. But anyway. Andy Mullen, Ayr really got a point in Inverness. No, I mind a win. We need our both to win tomorrow. If our both win, clearly that'll do you a massive favour. But Inverness didn't really have a lot to play for. That's the only thing with that. And Inverness really going to be going out to win the fixture just for the sake of pride itself. Ayr should have the players to go out there, and they've got something to play for. There should not be any doubt in their minds of what they're going out there to do. So we'll wait and see. I hope for your sake that Ayr can avoid the relegation players, because I think there's a good chance that a League One side could come up. Scott Docherty. Oh, this is beautiful. Indeed. Mike Hewson, hello from Lincolnshire. Hello, Mike. If this is your first time watching, hit the subscribe button, lad. We do Scottish football content around here, and it's very enjoyable. Just like tonight's game, 3-0 within 45 minutes. You can't beat that. A league deciding game, and Partick have come out all guns blazing. Brian Graham's going forward here again. Ball played through to Penrice. Cuts inside. Shot. Saved by Robbie Much. Good save, to be fair. Pirate away once again. Robbie Much keeping his team in the game, and has done early in the game before all the goals went in. If it hadn't been for Much so far, it could have easily been definitely 4, if not 5, for Partick so far. Jim McInally, the Peterhead manager for Alloa. It's just the case with these managers that are managers of the up north teams, like these more northern sides of Scotland. I don't know. These managers always tend to be relatively well paid. For being part-time managers of football clubs, they always tend to have kind of well-paid jobs as well outside of football. So it's a good shout. I'm not entirely shoving it down, but I don't know personally. Don't know if that would happen. But that's half time in this game, and it is 3-0 to Partick Thistle. A very good performance, professional, and just league-winning performance with Partick Thistle, you have to say, for a team that looked out of it just a month or so ago. It looked like it was all in Falkirk's hands. All they had to do was win the remaining games. Falkirk went out of form, and Partick had a very good run of form, and they're still doing that, of course. And 3-0 in the first half, it looks like game done. So all credit to them, and they will be crowned champions tonight if it continues in this manner. Kieran Barr, who do you think Falkirk should get in to actually do a job with us? I said Darren Young a few minutes ago, so I'll stick with that one. But let's just see what happens with them. It will depend on what league they're in, and of course, on what managers they can attract in that sense. Potentially see Barry Smith going back to Alloa. I don't know if Alloa would go back the way in terms of a manager that didn't work previously, really. So we'll wait and see. As I said, I think Andy Graham is potentially one of the better options out there at the moment. Anyway, we'll just wait and see what happens with Alloa. Falkirk fan here, just letting you know my way to jump. Don't do that, of course. But it must be relatively depressing to watch this at the moment for you guys. Better Lady Stubbs, new Falkirk manager. Alan Stubbs, that is a decent shout. Obviously, Falkirk are a big enough club to attract a name like Alan Stubbs. He's not been the most successful manager in his career, but he's a name. So it could be one that Falkirk look at. I'm not any real expert on Alan Stubbs. He certainly wasn't a favourite at St Mirren, for example, but he's loved at Hibs for winning the Scottish Cup, of course. So he wouldn't be the worst shout in the world. It would just be about if Falkirk could attract that name if they were still a League One club. I'm sure they could attract him if they were a Championship team. Ewan Brown, Queen of the South fan, what's happened here then? A complete collapse for Falkirk and an absolute outstanding performance of Partick Thistle that's thoroughly deserving of being crowned league champions after tonight, because 3-0, this is going to be Partick Thistle win tonight. I had them down for it. I had them down for a 2-1 win, but 3-0 is more than good enough at half time to be going on to win the game. They're playing with sheer confidence. Brian Graham, Scott Tiffany, and Zach Brudden on the score sheet. 3 of their on-form players in the last month or so, and they're all doing the job, so you can't argue with that. Any new transfer news at Dunfermline? Nah, we'll not see anything like that until the summer, because we don't really know what division we'll be playing in yet. Of course, we're in the Premiership playoffs, so we could be a Championship team, we could be a Premiership team, and the transfer business will be heavily dependent on what league we're in. So, no news at the moment for us. 57 people on this stream though. If you do fancy hitting the like button, please do. It's free of charge, of course, and it'll just help me out in the kind of YouTube algorithm and get the stream out there. There's been a few new faces in the stream as well tonight. Thanks for joining in. If you are new to the content, then please do hit the subscribe button. As I said, hit the like button, and just continue to get involved in the live chat throughout the night. I'll keep you updated in the second half. It's been a whirlwind first half. We've got a couple more people joining as well now. 64 people in this stream, so. Good. It was a good idea to stream tonight. I guess it was a big game in the league, and an important one for people to get some coverage on. Big game in Scottish football, League One title being decided, and it looks like champions will be crowned tonight, so it's pleasing. How are you, Ben? I'm great. How is yourself? Thoughts on Ray Thorwell signing James Keaton's on a pre-contract from Inverness? He was the kind of promotion guy at one point in the Championship. He was at Hearts and Hibs when they both got promoted, and then he made the move to Inverness, and obviously it never worked out in terms of promotion that time round, but he was always a decent player for Inverness until about this season, when I think younger players have come through and really risen to the fore, and maybe injuries with James Keaton's as well. But he's made the move to Wraith Rovers, who I think a lot of their signings have looked a bit more Championshipy than Premiership, like Sir Tom Lang, Christoph Berra, and of course James Keaton's himself. I think they're more for the Championship, but it's an interesting one. As I said, I think it'll have a bigger impact if Wraith Rovers are a Championship team next season than if they go up. Scott Fleming, how many players do you expect to leave the Pars this summer? I reckon you lose Ewan Murray for sure. I believe there's, the core members of the squad that you wouldn't want to lose, the likes of Ewan Murray and Kel Turner. From a fan's perspective, you wouldn't want to lose Kel Turner, but clearly Stevie Crawford has left Kel Turner out in the lurch a bit in the last wee while. I reckon we'll lose the main out of contract players, and definitely the likes of Ewan Murray and Kel Turner. It was disappointing because they were two of our best players at the club, but we move on. We know we're that type of club. We know we're a stepping stone for players. The likes of Kevin Nisbet were lucky to have him on a longer term deal, and we got a transfer fee for him, albeit it was less than we would have wanted it in the first place. But very, it's a good model we've got going, put it that way, and we just know what we are as a club. So it's important to know that you're not going to be able to keep all your best players, and that's just how it is sometimes with clubs that are at the level Dunfermline are at. Hello to Conor McAndrew, XP1872, nice telly, cheers man. Sonny, best of gear. My dad coming in with second half goals from Subs Cardle and Andy Gagan to really rub it in. That would be special. Joe Cardle to come on and do anything in this game would be fantastic for myself. Got to love Cardle and Andy Gagan just as much. Scott Fleming thinks Keaton's has been promoted 4 times from the Championship to the Premiership. Must be around about that. He's certainly gained a reputation for himself, but obviously it didn't quite work out in Inverness in the same manner. Kieran Ross is a Ruth Horse fan. I hate the Berra signing. He's pretty garbage now. I just don't think he's going to be the level of player that he would need if he's go up. So it is a bit of a questionable one. Potentially a sign that he would rather maybe stay down for a while and build the club a bit more. A sign that he's maybe don't need promotion as much as the other teams, which is probably true, to be fair. Callum Thompson, in my opinion, who's the best player in the Premiership bottom 6? Oh, tricky question. Who's the best player in the bottom 6? I think because Motherwell are there, I think I'd have to go for Alan Campbell, potentially. Although Benjamin Siegrist is also up there because I really highly rate him as a goalkeeper. So I'd go for Alan Campbell, but closely followed by Benjamin Siegrist, and then probably a St Johnson defender after that. But I'm kind of just thinking in my head now. But I think I'd go for Alan Campbell as my actual best player in the bottom 6 at the moment. Should Crawford still be manager next season? I think it's kind of out of our hands to talk about should he, because I think he will be. He's met his target, and I don't see any reason why he'll get sacked now. So I think that's that in terms of the Crawford debate. Dark Blue Nation, hello. Conor McAndrew, what do you think the Arbroath score will be? We are at home again on. A massive game. I really like Arbroath. I like Dick Campbell. I like the fact that he's doing so well on Scottish football. Massive character, and he loves Dunfermline as well, so that always helps. I'll go for an Arbroath win. I do think Greenock Morton have got it in them to really muck this up and end up in the relegation playoffs, so I'll go for an Arbroath win. I'm not going to go for a score prediction though. I'll just say Arbroath win. Scott Fleming. Bit nervous to see how many players leave Wraith this summer. Hendry linked with lots of clubs, with Sonder linked with St Mirren and Tate linked perhaps. That could be a danger for Wraith, of course. Even if they do go up, players could still leave them. I really do expect Regan Hendry to move on. Top class player. Done very well for Wraith Rovers, and he's been a credit to the club, but I do think that he's got so much ability and should be a Premiership player next season, whether that's with Wraith or not. Potentially going to move down south, and then the other ones, Musonda and Tate. There's loads of players that will be attracting interest from a Wraith perspective because they've just performed so well this season, above what probably a lot of people expected them to. Robbie Nelson. Ben, thoughts on Past the Mic? I'm going on tomorrow. Good show. I was actually asked to go on tomorrow night as well, but I'll be at my dad's watching the Dunfermline game and just like watching a Dunfermline stream as well as streaming with someone else and my dad's poorer Wi-Fi than I've got here at my own home. I just wouldn't be able to go on and contribute very well. So I declined, but I do watch Gogsy's Past streams and stuff, and they are very good. It's been great content this season. He's done very well to engage fans and just bring everyone together in a time where obviously people haven't really go to football games and meet each other and just get that usual camaraderie you would have at a football game. So all credit to him. He's done the football fan version of off the mic, off the ball, off the ball with Stuart Cosgrove and Cam Cowan. So, aye, well done to Gogsy, and it's a good show. And I'm sure I'll tune in at some point, and I'll see you there, Robbie. That Blue Nation, how do you think the playoff spots will look after Friday night? As far as I'm aware, Dundee are away to Queen of the South, and Wraith have Hearts. I believe that's the fixtures. So if Hearts are up to their game, just like they were against Inverness, they could beat Wraith. It just depends on what Hearts turn up, essentially. So Wraith could lose, and Dundee could beat Queen of the South because Queen of the South have nothing to play for. So you could see Dundee going into second place, and that would mean Wraith drop into third. And, then it would see a Fife derby happen in the first leg of the playoffs, and then be quarterfinals. So I have a really sneaky feeling that could end up happening. Dundee to finish second, and Wraith to finish third, Dunfermline fourth. Bailey Mills, hello. Conor McAndrew, do you think I'll lose tomorrow night? I think it will be at Dunfermline 5-0. I'd be delighted with a 5-0 win. I hope Dunfermline can win just for good momentum going into the playoffs, of course. I do expect us to win because Alloa are down, and we have been on form recently. I think it's unbeaten in 5 games, with a good few amount of wins in the last 5 as well. So I do expect a Dunfermline win. I don't know about as much as 5-0 though. Effie Ambrose, LSC, hello. John Mitchell, Keating's signed a big contract with his Rovers, and Didi has. And he spoke about it a bit earlier. I think it's a good signing for the Championship level. I'm not sure about Premiership. I think it'd be more of a bottom 6 Premiership signing, but maybe even more of a squad signing at that stage as well. But definitely a good signing for Championship level. Evan Warner, coming back with thoughts on Michael Stewart. Very controversial guy, likes to band his opinions about, and he believes entirely in what he's saying, and a man with that amount of confidence, you've got to give him credit for it. He believes in exactly what he's saying. We all have to have confidence if we're going on camera and saying what we think. So all credit to him for going on and just saying exactly what he thinks at times, but there's obviously times where his opinion is a bit much, and in some cases he's just a bit wrong. So he's one of the controversial ones out there, but I suppose you kind of need that at points in commentary just to kind of be known. I suppose if you're just kind of a bit wishy-washy and just say what everyone wants to hear, you're not really going to get anywhere. So that's my kind of thoughts on Michael Stewart, I suppose. Barry Foster, that grilling your dish from the third and then one of the pars. Aye. It was a very good strike for Brian. I was very impressed with the strike, because I just simply didn't see a goal coming from the position he was in. But Falkirk are collapsing. Bailey Mills, Elgin City winning 2-0 in the playoffs. The playoffs? The playoffs? What are you on about? They're not night. What are you on about? That Blue Nation. It looked like they could potentially go down and have admired Luke McCown for a while. Aye. It's contract up, and someone do you think Dundee have a shot signing him? One that I would really like Dunfermline to be interested in. I think a lot of Championship teams and some lower Premiership teams will have a fight in their hands to get Luke McCown, because I don't think he'll be an Ayr player if they go down. Even if they stay up, I don't think he might stay at Ayr, because he's a very good player for Championship level. As I said, I'd love us to have a look at him, because he's been one of the up-and-coming talents in the league for at least this season and a wee bit of last season as well. Another one coming out of the Ayr promotion, Ayr kind of rucker players, I suppose, like Shanklin, Liam Smith, and Ross Doon done well there, of course, as well. So Alan Forrest, main one, of course, getting his move to Livingston. So Luke McCown's another one. I'd be very interested in him as well. Scott Fleming, you reckon Queen's Park will do well teams like Falkirk, Coval, etc. Aye, I mean, Queen's Park could easily do as well as Cove have done this season, just simply down to the squad they'll have, the money at their disposal, and the fact they're full time now. They've got Ray McKinnon as manager, who is a relatively decent manager. I'm not going to give him too much credit because he did get Falkirk relegated with a decent enough squad and couldn't really get them going in League One. But I think Queen's Park's a bit of a different animal in terms of how he manages that. It's just a different club, different atmosphere, different players and stuff. And I would say, on the piece, Queen's Park have players that could easily slip into a Falkirk starting 11 at the moment. So I think Queen's Park, as I said, could easily do just as well as Cove have done this season, which makes them do just as well as Falkirk have done as well this season. Conor McAndrew, what player would you give Player of the Year out of all their both players? Who's played well for our both this season? I admire a player like Ricky Little. He's been such a stalwart for Arbroath. I think last season Tam O'Brien was included in the Championship Team of the Year, and rightfully so because he was a very good defender for Arbroath. But I think Ricky Little is maybe one of the plaudits for this season. He's played a massive role and he's scored a few goals as well, and obviously done his defensive duties very well. And Arbroath haven't conceded a lot of goals once again. That's what Arbroath are all about. So I'd probably get to Ricky Little if anybody. So that's the second half started again. 3-0 to Partick Thistle, of course. We'll wait and see if they scored any more goals in this game, or if Falkirk can pull it back even slightly. As I said, Partick played so well in that first half that all they need to do is just continue that even slightly, and they could potentially even get another goal or two here. Scottish Cup semi-final prediction. Dundee United v Hibs. Who am I predicting to go through in that? And that's such a difficult time, man. I'll predict Hibs to go through, and I'll predict St Johnstone to go through. Hibs St Johnstone final, and that's a repeat of the semi-final of the League Cup where St Johnstone won 3-0. Then a Hibs win in the final. Hibs to win the Scottish Cup. I know you just asked me for my semi-final predictions, and I've just given you the full rundown of who I think will go on to win the cup, but still. Ross Docherty as well at Ayr. He wanted to join us in League One when Ayr won the Championship. Aye. Interesting on that. Matthew, hello. Have you seen that Neil McCann will step down? Aye. Interesting one with Neil McCann. Could he be a shout for Alloa or Falkirk manager? I didn't think about that one. Definitely a shout. Keep your eye on that one, actually. Neil McCann to become the manager of either Falkirk or Alloa. Alloa would be a good one for him because they'd allow him the time to build up his kind of reputation and stuff. And Mike Mulroney would maybe put his hand in the coffers a bit and give them a bit of kind of funding to get promoted again. Falkirk would definitely do that as well if they stayed down. Even if they go up, they could have Neil McCann because he'd done a tremendous job with Inverness since John Robertson obviously took time away for the club. League One is getting increasingly difficult every year. Wouldn't you fancy getting relegated in it? Definitely not. Unless you've got like an extremely good squad that can keep up tremendous consistency levels, then you are going to struggle. Even Partick have struggled this season, and they're now looking like a team that's going to go rampant towards the title and maybe win it by 8 or 9 points. But it is a very tight league and very difficult. That nation, Ben Williamson has been class for Arbroath. Could be the player of the year. Has he been there all season though? A thing that I like to do is kind of note like a man of the match in a game, for example. I don't like to give a man of the match to a player that hasn't played the full game. Oh, Scott Tiffany here in the box. And intercepted, blocked by the Falkirk defender. Ball back in though, Brian Graham. Oh, just wide. But Ben Williamson at Arbroath, if he's not been there all season, then I wouldn't give him player of the year. I like to give a kind of award like that to someone who has contributed throughout. Sorry. Scott Fleming, you picked or thought about a championship team of the season. I found it tough to pick this season. I mean, it's not just as simple as can put all the Hearts players in because they've won the league. There's a lot of Wraith players you could include. I wouldn't say there's many Dunfermline players you could look to include. Maybe one, potentially two, a push. But even at that, I think you're probably going to struggle to even get one Dunfermline player in this season just because we've been that on and off. But it is a tricky one. There'd be a lot of variety, put it that way. It's not just going to be as simple as picking the top two teams in the league and kind of going to and fro with those players. Beating the Pars in the playoffs would be a fixture, definitely. One that I would be massively invested in. And would definitely want a Dunfermline win, obviously. Conor McAndrew, think you should do the Arbroath game on Saturday. On Saturday? They're playing tomorrow night, pal. Look, Forsyth looking good. Cheers, man. Matthew Bishop, good shout. Sad to see him go, but I've always said Robbo on McCann. I mean, there's obviously massive respect for John Robertson, and quite rightfully so. In the conditions that he had to step down for his duties at the club recently were obviously sad to see. So he does deserve a chance to come back and do the job that he was set out to do at the start of the season, and try and get them up next season, of course. There will be a challenger next season. Inverness are always a challenger. They've got good players, good young players coming through. Does depend how many of them they can keep a hold of, but I'm quite confident that Inverness will again be up there in the promotion playoffs, and if they can get a better start to the season next time round, they could have easily been second place this season with a better start to the season. I mean, HD going back and saying yes, he doesn't need to donate loan. I got the score wrong. Fair enough. Double Nation. Conwy would probably been the team of the season over Tomlin's Glasgow. I mean, see, that's the problem. Oh, good save from the Partick Thistle goalkeeper. Cross in from the right hand side, and Kai Fotheringham had the header. Cross in by Callum Morrison. Header by Fotheringham, who tipped over the bar by the Partick Thistle goalkeeper. I think at half time, Falkirk have made a sub, bringing on Anton Dowds alongside Connor Salmon. Corner though. Foul by the Falkirk player. But going back to this point, Comrie, Aaron Comrie, Dunfermline player, would be a good shout for player of the season, team of the season. But then you've got Tumlety at right back, you've got Michael Smith at Hearts. Dundee haven't had a massive standout at right back, really. So you've got two players there who could potentially be ahead of Comrie in the running. Craig Whiting is the second top goal scorer, having played for both Hearts and Dunfermline this season. So he is sort of in with a shout as well. But then you've got the likes of Liam Boyce up front. Jason Cummings will be up there as well. There's just too many options to even try and push Dunfermline players in there. So I can't see us having many players in there at all. MHD. Craig Gordon, correct. I'll go for him. I agree with Tumlety at right back. Ashcroft, he's probably done just enough to get in the team of the season this year. Goals, and he's been part of a decent enough Dundee side, so I'd probably go with that. Benedictus, potentially. Kingsley, now debatable because he's not been in the Hearts team every single week. I don't think, unless I'm completely wrong on that. If he has been, then but if he's not, then no, I don't think I'd really go for him. Potentially someone else, maybe a McDonald, the Wraith left back. Paul McMullen, nah, he only came halfway through the season. I wouldn't have him in there. I know he's bagged quite a few assists this season, but I just wouldn't have him in there just because he's only played half the season. Charlie Adam, you'd have to have there just for the numbers that he's produced. O'Hara? Surely no Kevin O'Hara. You've not got Kevin O'Hara in there, have you? Can he be? Kai Kennedy, no. I'd have someone else in there ahead of him. Boyce, Connor Shields as well. See, there's another striking option. Boyce definitely, and Shields is definitely there for debate. So, it just shows you how difficult it is. They're all very good players on their day, but it's difficult to put them into a team, really. You think Ian Murray will leave? Definitely. Spoke about it a wee bit earlier. I think he will leave them filming this summer. Definitely tune in tomorrow night for a good game. Very important game. Good knowledge of all teams. Brilliant. Cheers, man. This game's a wee bit Falkirk at the moment. Callum Morrison taking a shot there, saved by the Partick goalkeeper, but Falkirk kind of getting themselves into it. Getting a few wee chances here and there. Hamish, usual starter for Hearts from the first teams. I knew he was at the start of the season. I thought he'd got an injury at some point, Kingsley. But fair enough, if he's been in the team, highly deserving of being in the team of the season. Craig White will get a Winners' Championship medal if he goes up with them. That's an interesting wee thing there. He scored goals for Hearts at the start of the season and was obviously part of the team that almost won a Scottish Cup as well for the last season. So, hopefully he can get those double promotion accolades to his belt. How many HD Osman So can be an honourable mention, but not just enough. He scored. He had that wee purple patch of goal scoring form, but no consistent enough really. Right back has been a huge issue for Dundee this season. Tomlin Comrie could be brilliant for Dundee. Not sure of this. Comrie definitely not for Dundee. He's signing a new deal with Dunfermline. He wouldn't go in another championship team. Be no point really. Terrible for Connor Salmon now. And Kingsley has been quite inconsistent in my opinion, according to Dundee fan. So he's all up for debate. Kingsley's a very good player, but it's championship's been that competitive, or shite at times this season for some teams, that there's just a load of players that you could include in the player of the year because there hasn't been that many standouts that from one team. Like the League One inside hasn't had that many standouts that you can go, there's going to be 6 or 7 players for them. Hearts just don't have that many players that you could simply say deserve to be in the team of the season. Kerr has been decent recently, but he agrees with Hammy that Dundee's right backs are about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Right. Back in this game though, 57 minutes in, still 3-0 to Partick Thistle. As I said, Falkirk have been kind of pushing the last week well, but a good ball through here. Scott Tiffany running through, but well intercepted by the goalkeeper who came out and claimed it. Falkirk trying to go ahead, go through there again, but intercepted by the Partick players. Now Brian Graham trying to pull Partick up the pitch. It's a very 50-50 game, this end-to-end stuff at the moment. Penrice cutting inside, trying to get a shot or a cross in, but comes too far inside. Bannigan now got the ball, plays it out wide to Williamson on the right hand side, who will look to get a cross in, surely. Poor delivery though. Terrible attempt at a header for Callum Morrison there, crikey. Out wide to Scott Tiffany on the left though. Bursts past Lewis Nielsen. Burst past him into the box. Shot and saved by Robbie Much. And Lewis Nielsen will look to clear this for Falkirk, but a good chance for Partick Thistle to make it 4-0 there. Very good chance for Scott Tiffany, but again Robbie Much keeping his team not in the game really, but keeping the score down at least. Do I think Ross County will stay up? I'm going to go for no, because I think a championship team will go up by the playoffs, and I think Ross County will finish in the relegation playoffs. Back defending for Partick Thistle, but cleared efficiently. John Mitchell, hope Ross County go down with Hamilton. Very interesting for the division to see a couple of new teams go in. Here's running in. Cross, going to be a goal. Brian Graham, 4-0. 4-0 Partick Thistle. Brian Graham with a double, and that is that. That is that for the League One title. Very good play down the wing. Good run for Zach Rudden, who made the cross in for Brian Graham, who tapped it home. And it has to be said, Partick Thistle have just been the better side tonight, far better, and were only had one thing on their mind coming out on this pitch tonight, and that was get that league title wrapped up, and they have done exactly that. So, all credit to them. Brian Graham, Zach Burden, and Scott Tiffany they've had a fantastic performance overall. You can see exactly why they've been the key players for Partick's recent good run of form. And they're utterly deserving of being crowned league champions based on this type of form that they're showing at the moment. And there's Scott Doherty. I've actually never been happier. This is what it felt like when Falkirk did not win the Scottish Cup as well. I remember that James Vincent goal going in and celebrating it. Wasn't celebrating as much as I was that day, but aye, it's Falkirk bottling it, obviously. And there we have it. Scoreboard changed. Partick Thistle 4, Falkirk 0. So I genuinely don't know if Partick will go for more goals here. Could they just look to go absolutely rampant on Falkirk? I mean, it does really show the kind of disarray that Falkirk have been in recently, kind of losing their management team after a bad run of form, and then still trying to go for a league title, but no managers to try and pull them through it. Well, Mark Dunnan's on the pitch now. He's another dud. But aye, it's just been a weird one for Falkirk. Are they going to have enough to get through a playoff as well without a manager there? Be interesting, because they certainly are not showing any type of form tonight at all that's screamed that they're right up for the fight. At this moment, you have to say that Cove Rangers would be favourites ahead of Falkirk. Partick Thistle commentators here are loving it. Clearly, their team's away to win the league title, but they're having a good old laugh at Falkirk's expense. And Scott Tiffany's going through here again. Could it be 5-0? It's got a penalty. It's got to be. No? Referee's not giving a penalty. Scott Tiffany took it around the goalie by the looks of it, and it looked like the goalie might have clipped him, but he must have got a touch to the ball. We'll see it better here in the close-up. Scott Tiffany takes it around the goalie. That's a penalty. Scott Tiffany has been clipped there on the back of the heels by the goalie's hands. That had to be a penalty, and it would have been potentially 5-0 at Partick Thistle. But they get a corner kick. Ball in by James Penrice once again. And it goes right through and out for a Falkirk goal kick. John Mitchell, Jags will be forced in the championship next season, can see them doing a right overs. I've always thought that about Partick Thistle. In the seasons where they were horrendous in the championship, obviously that being last season, the season before that, I had them right up there in the playoffs every single time. I was always fearful of going to Firhill, thinking they've got a really strong team and stuff like that. But Dunfermline managed to get a few wins at Firhill, and they were always they ended up being pretty garbage and ended up doing the bottom end of the league quite a lot. But with this squad, and if they can continue building on that and bring in decent players, I see no reason why they can't do a type of Wraith Rovers scenario where they get promotion and then go on and be involved in a promotion challenge next season. It could indeed get extremely embarrassing for Falkirk if it's not already. I mean, I think their fans will be looking at it as already a bit of a, as Ewan Brown puts it, a laughing stock. It has to be said though, I've mentioned it so many times that Partick are just thoroughly deserving of this. They've come out and done exactly what their fans wanted them to do tonight. They've done their fans proud, and they've written all the kind of wrongs that happened at the end of last season for Thistle. So from their perspective, they'll be absolutely delighted. They've built a squad and that was made for going for promotion, and they've achieved that. 43 people in the stream. We're an hour and a half in with 25-ish, half an hour left. So if you do want to just hit the like button on the stream, it's completely free, of course. Hit the subscribe button. It's been nice to chat to you tonight. The numbers have dropped a bit in the second half just because obviously there's less happening. I think a lot of people came in as the goals were going in the first half. but certainly it's been a decent number of the night. 40 people watching on a regular basis. I don't think I've dropped below that yet. So cheers for being in the stream, lads. I really appreciate it. Emery hunting Arsenal. Are Arsenal losing in the Europa League? I'd be watching that, obviously, if I wasn't watching this game, but I felt this was just a far too important game to not watch tonight. Falkirk going forward here, though. Callum Morrison out on the right-hand side. Gary Miller with a terrible ball in there. Goes out to Margaro Gomez. Terrible again. And that's going to be a foul. Easy foul. No? Referee's been no giving many things tonight that I think would be fouls. Villarreal 1, Arsenal 0, and Man United 1, Roma 1. Interesting. Roma with the away goal there, clearly. Interesting. I mean, if Man United and Arsenal don't make it through, then serious questions need to be asked about their managers. Don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be in as much pressure as Arteta will be if he doesn't go through in his tie. I think Arteta could potentially end up having to depart Arsenal if he doesn't win the Europa League, because the league performances this season just haven't been up to the standards that Arsenal fans expect, rightly or wrongly. 25 minutes to go here, as you can see by the scoreboard right next to me. Falkirk are losing 4-0 away at Partick Thistle. I'm just seeing it there. 5 minutes in, Arsenal are already down 1-0. Not very good. This game could end up just petering out a bit now. We'll wait and see, of course. I said a couple of minutes before half-time and before the third goal went in that I just thought, well, maybe Partick will see it through to half-time, and then literally seconds later, Brian Graham smashed it in for 25 yards. So take what I say with a pinch of salt, but just the kind of way the game's going, Partick Thistle aren't pushing as much for goals. Obviously, they're 4-0 up, they don't need to. And Falkirk have just been not really in the game in terms of quality, so I can't see Partick really collapsing at this point in the game. Callum Morrison here for Falkirk round in the wing, crossing the box, good ball, but cleared by the Partick Thistle defender. And Scott Tiffany passes it to Bannigan, who gets it. Got it partly clear. The Falkirk have passed it straight out of the pitch. Brilliant. Right, keep getting involved in the live chat, lads. Any questions, anything you want to chat about, just get involved. I'll keep you updated in the game, as well as just answering any questions or just anything you want to chat about. Here for the next half an hour at least. Joe Cardle coming to the pitch. Come on. Scott Tiffany off, Joe Cardle on. Go on, Joe, go. Loves the goal against Falkirk, does your Joe? Couple hundred Partick fans are watching the corner flag with pyros and flares. Fair play, they deserve it. I know, I've seen that actually. I saw it in the kind of celebrations. I've seen it in the last few games when Partick have shown stuff on their social media that the players, when they score a goal at that end, they run up and look up to something. And it's clearly the fans that are watching for that bit where you can see it at the stadium. So fair play to them. They've stayed away all season. I know that they're not really meant to be doing that, but what are your top 5 Scottish derbies? I mean, Dundee Derby's got to be up there just for my own experience at it. Edinburgh Derby's got to be up there for its reputation. It wasn't the greatest derby I've ever been at, but it's clearly a very good derby within Scottish football. Obviously, one of the biggest attended games in Scottish football. Rangers v Celtic, obviously, as well. I'd have to say, from my personal point of view, that I think you have to kind of put Rangers and Celtic as the best just because of the magnitude of the fixture. Despite having never been at one, I just imagine that it clearly is the best Scottish derby. Then I'm going to go with the Dundee Derby. Then I'll go for the Edinburgh Derby. Then for me, I've got three in my head. I've got the Ayrshire Derby between Kilmarnock and Ayr United. I've got the Lanarkshire derby between Motherwell and Hamilton, and I've got the Fife derby between Dunfermline and Raith Rovers. I think I'll go for the Ayrshire derby and then the Fife derby. I think that's what I'll go for. So my order would be 5th the Fife derby, 4th Ayrshire, 3rd Edinburgh, 2nd Dundee, and 1st Glasgow. Ewan Brown, I've read that comment. Scott Docherty, Ben, I've not been below 40 stream. I've not been below 40 stream goes below 40. I can't make sense of that comment. Could you comment it again, please? Sorry. John Mitchell, Hearts v Hibs, Dundee v Dundee United, Falkirk v Dunfermline, Morton v St Mirren, Inverness v Ross County. That I mean, that's not a bad lineup. I don't know if I'd have Inverness v Ross County as the best Scottish derbies, like up there with the best. Nah, I don't know if I would have it as the best. And there's Inverness fan Matthew coming in saying Highland Derby. I just didn't have it up there as the best. I think Cully versus Ayr is a bigger derby. They're bigger clubs. And the Fife derby, I've been at it. I rate it highly. Dunfermline is a bigger club than Ross County or Inverness, and I think Raith have the potential to sell out their ground in that fixture as well. It goes to show when both teams are doing well. For example, 10 years ago when it was promotion to the Premiership that was up for grabs. As Partick go through here, James Penrice. It's a goal! Joe Cardle! Joe Cardle gets a goal. Come on. 5-0, and it's Joe Cardle. Come on. It was a pass. It was very similar to the fourth goal, actually. Ball played for the runner of Brian Graham. Put across. I think James Penrice was looking to get it in. Good save by Robbie Much, though. And Joe Cardle was there to tap it in. And you'll love to see a Joe Cardle goal against Falkirk. Love to see it. Come on. Joe Cardle. He'll love that goal. He will love it. Simple tap in for the guy. One of the easiest goals he'll score in his career, but you'll love to see it. I can't believe I'm making a 5-0 graphic. I would not have thought that tonight. I had it as a 2-1 initially. Falkirk have just been absolutely garbage. And I'm going to put the 5-0 graphic on screen. Tremendous result, really. You've got to give Partick Thistle every credit tonight. I know I've said it so many times in the stream, but I just simply did not expect this type of dominance. But there you go. 5-0. Falkirk v Dunfermline's better. Fair enough. Obviously, it's the derby that doesn't even have a name. Like what is really the name of our derby there? But it's a very feisty derby as well. Nah, I mean, I didn't mind if you ruined the score. I really didn't mind. I wasn't even looking at the commentary, to be fair. I was just watching them go through. Falkirk here with a chance, though. Akil Francis sets up a chance, but well defended by the Partick players. They'll just be really wanting to keep a clean sheet at this point. I'm assuming they will get a bit of a bonus if they can keep a clean sheet. Haven't seen the game. How Falkirk played terribly. It's pretty simple as that. Kincardine derby. Really? I don't know. I've not really heard it called anything. Just Falkirk v Dunfermline. Is it not the Fourth Road Bridge derby? Like, I don't know. Is the Fourth Road Bridge no more of a? No, wait, no, it would be the Kincardine Bridge. Aye. I don't know. I've not heard it called that. Can Dunfermline still finish second? Nah, that's out with our grasp. We could still finish third though if Raith lose to Hearts and we can beat Alloa. Aye, I think we could still finish. Aye, Aye, I think. I don't know. Don't ask me. Definitely not second though. Partick Thistle making a triple change here. Mohamed Niang coming on, Gagan, and another player that I missed just there. Andy Gagan coming on though. My dad came in early in the stream. Let's see if we can find this comment again. Where was he? Where was he? Where was he? Where was he? There he is. Second half goals from Subs Cardle and Andy Gagan to really rub it in. Make that happen. Make it happen. We would love to see that. Cardle's already happened. Andy Gagan has now been subbed on with 15 minutes to go. Let's get Andy Gagan on the score sheet. Pars get third if Dundee lose. Right, fair enough. That is the scenario. So we can't finish second and we can only finish third if Dundee lose. What I was having in my head was who will we end up playing, so I knew something could change there. If Dundee win their game, then there's a potential for us to play Wraith in the quarterfinals, of course. Blair Alston takes a free kick for Falkirk. Into the wall, and Ricardo Gomez's strike is well wide. I hope so, Leo Hay. I really hope so. Harris are the Firhill fans watching from the canal. Apparently so. There has been no camera shots of them, but I've been reliably informed that indeed they are. And good on them. I mean, as I said earlier, I know it's not actually allowed in the current circumstances, but I can't really say that I'm raging at the fact they're doing it. Dundee are losing easy 3-0 Dobie hat-trick. Imagine if Dobie turns up in his last game and scores a hat-trick. That would be peak Dobie. It's another classic photo of him holding the ball with the three fingers holding it. That would be classic. And I'd thank him very much because I want Dunfermline finishing third would benefit us in the quarter-final tie, no matter who we play, because that would give us the home leg, the second leg at home. So I'd be pleasing. Stephen Dubendy's career by ruining my night, typical. That would be a tremendous turn of events. Well, he's not in his career, but he's no retiring. He's just moving on to something else. He might move on to be a coach or something like that, but or a player coach. But he's not said that he's retiring. He's just not playing for Queen of the South as of next season. Villarreal 2, Arsenal 0, by the way, if you want an update on that. So, I think Mikel Arteta could potentially be out the door. Cardle plays it into Brian Graham, who takes his shot, saved by Robbie Much. Partick Thistle are still playing tremendous football. They have not taken their foot off the gas at all. Tremendous performance for them. I mean, they know their fans are watching at home, right? But potentially those fans up there on the canal are pushing them towards it even more. Because why would they want any negative outcome of tonight happen when those fans are out there in the cold watching? I just think they had a completely different mindset than Falkirk coming to this one tonight. The manager would have had them right up for it, Ian McCall, of course. And the fact that Falkirk had no manager, I just think that's played a massive part. Really? 2-1 Roma? Really? Oof. If that's the case, that's a bad gin for Man United, man. Imagine two English teams get to the semi-finals and none of them make it to the final. I've not seen that wee goal update yet, so I don't know if I should take the piss. 5-0. 5-0. It is indeed 2-1. Well, indeed. Well, I keep refreshing it. It says 2-1 Roma and then goes back to 1-1, but it says 2-1 Roma against Man United. That is a tremendous turn of events at Old Trafford. Imagine going up 1-0 and then still not winning the game at home to Roma. After this game, I'll get towards the second half. I don't know what game to watch. Tell me what game to watch. What game will I watch? Will I watch the Man United Roma game or Villarreal Arsenal? I think there's more to the Man United Roma game. I think Villarreal v Arsenal could just end 2-0. Villarreal will be pretty happy with a 2-0 win. Arsenal seems like they're not playing very well. So potentially maybe not going to score another goal. Whereas the Man United Roma game, Man United surely have to get back into that. We haven't lost in 4 months in the league. What team's this? Ten minutes to go in this game though. I said Partick might not go for any more goals as well, and they've gone and scored. They've gone and scored 2 in the second half. So there you go. Keep the comments coming, lads. 35 people on the stream. Mentioned it a couple of times already. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Especially if you've been here for a long time in the stream. I would very much appreciate that. Partick Thistle still really going for this though. Brian Graham on the right hand side here. Trying to run a corner for his side. Fails to do so. They'll go kick Falkirk. Brian Graham, it has to be said, has been a very good signing for Partick Thistle. Massive impact this season. Scored goals at the vital times in games. And that goal earlier in the game, fantastic strike. Worthy of being part of a league winning performance, and that's exactly what this is. Don't know what to stay for the league, like in the celebrations and stuff after the game. Like, might keep the stream on, but I might stop streaming because there's literally nothing to comment on really. Mark Dunn, lucky. Absolute dud that man. Dud. Commentators have just said a few stats there. Their goal difference is plus 33. They're the best goal scorers in the division, and they have the best defence, that being Partick Thistle, of course. Tremendous. And considering the relatively up and down start they had to the season, for them to have turned it around as much as they have and convincingly win the league, you've got to give it to Partick Thistle. A 5-0 win against one of your promotion rivals is brilliant. Aidan Keane is on for Falkirk as well. What's that now? Can't see any of the subs have made any sort of impact for Falkirk though. Akil Francis came on. I think Anton Dowds came on. So they've tried to change it, and it just simply has not worked out at all. Who's the right winger for Falkirk here, man? That's terrible. But they're going to get nowhere with this attack. They're trying to play the ball about and eventually work something, but it's just not going to happen. They're back to their goalkeeper. Partick are doing very well to close them down, it has to be said, but Falkirk just aren't probing enough. They're not asking the question enough. They're just passing it about and just being very pedestrian. There's Partick are going forward here with purpose. They're driving forward. Man of the match. I think I'd have to give it to Zach Rudden. I think I'd give it to Zach Rudden in this game. They were just talking there, saying obviously Graham scored a goal and Falkirk here. Blair Alston, man. Nice shoot. Okay, that's what you're known for, man, but he was 5-0 down. You need to look for the postage stamp every time. I'd give the man of the match to Zach Rudden. Partick Thistle. You've no lost in 4 months. Really? I've spoken about the Europa League results, so we're looking forward to watching one of those after this game is finished. As I say, probably the Man United game. We'll be interested to see how this affects Falkirk players. I said that earlier, actually. It will be very interesting because, as I said, they've got no manager. And where's the motivation coming from at this point? They've been hammered and displaced by Partick Thistle at the top of the league. They've got no league title to fight for now. All they have left is a dead rubber at the end of the season and then going into the playoffs, where they could potentially still finish third. Cove could still finish ahead of them. Henry's here on the left hand side for Thistle, crossing the box. Andy Gagan's in there as well. I think he is anyway. Unless that's in the middle of the park. I think I've got the wrong player there. Falkirk here though. Coming forward, Anton Dowds played through. Shot, garbage. It's very much a dead rubber at the end of this game. You're literally just watching me watch a dead rubber game of football at this point because it's 5-0 and nothing is really happening at either end. Dundee fans completely buzzing for tomorrow night. Very interesting turn of events in the Championship. There is still a couple of wee things that can go here and there in the league in terms of positions. I'll be keenly looking on to the Wraith Dundee results just to see if it changes the league in any way in terms of who plays who first in the playoffs and stuff like that. So it will definitely be very interesting. Queen of the South isn't an easy place to go at the best of times, but because they've got nothing to play for, it could be in your favour, that one. Scott Dockery. Hopefully they get shafted in the playoffs and spend another 25 years down. Sorry, Falkirk there. It's a very harsh way to think about things, Scott, but I understand your thinking. Ewan Brown, Queen's fans meeting outside the stadium to try and catch team bus and say bye to Dobby. That's a very good thing to hear. I imagine a lot of Queen's fans will want to be doing that, and I assume they'll do that in the right way as well, because Queen's fans always they seem like quite a decent bunch of fans, and they won't I'm not saying Partick's fans or anything aren't decent, by the way. Don't put two and two together and get 5 here, but I just think that Queens will want to pay their respects and for it not to cause any controversy. So I think it'll all be socially distanced and stuff like that, and they'll just say pay their respects to a club legend, that has to be said, one of the biggest club legends in their entire history. That's why he's got a statue outside the club. It is a real shame that his last game as a Queen's player will not be seen in front of fans, but it is how it is. Hearts fan covering here saying well done to Partick. Indeed, I echo the sentiment. Done very well tonight. Done exactly what they were meant to come out and do. Absolutely dominated the game and won it very convincingly. So well done to them. Oh, Joe Cardle's played through here. Go on then, get a second. Oh, damn. He should have got a goal. I was so buzzing for him to go through there because I just love Joe Cardle, by the way. Brian Graham with a tremendous ball through. Cardle a brilliant run. Oh, He's got to score that. He's got to score that. You and Brian, you've all been told to wear masks and social distance. I expected no more. And as Dark Blue Nation says, fair play to Queen's fans. And is the game going well? Is it just Partick? I mean, Partick have clearly made the game a good one to watch. I've got to say, if this was just a 2-0 Partick win, I probably wouldn't be saying it was a great game, just because Falkirk have shown very little. But Partick have made it a very good game to watch. I cannot complain with what I've been given tonight. They're on the break again here, by the way. Brian Graham cutting inside. Oh, and he's been booked for diving. He's saying to the referee, no way, but booked for diving. Who do you think will finish ninth in the championship? I've said it earlier in the stream, but I think I've got a funny feeling about Morton going down. I've got a funny feeling about it. Lose to Arbroath, here get at least a draw. I don't know. Montrose losing to Cove, so we'll finish 5th. Montrose have kind of been a bit a damp squib in the last few months, obviously. They've done well, obviously, to be in that top 5. Stuart Peach has done a tremendous job over the last few years getting them for the bottom echelons of League 2. Obviously, we're promotion out of League 2. And then getting them up into the playoffs in League 1. But, losing tonight to a good Cove side. And that is it. Full time. Partick Thistle are league champions of League 1. Brian Graham going up to the canal end, where all the Partick Thistle fans are obviously celebrating at this moment in time. And they're just utterly jubilant. You can completely understand it. They had a torrid time at getting relegated last season in the way they did. And they've made it up at the first team asking. A very strong squad at their disposal. And you've got to fancy their chances in the championship next season as well. Played very well tonight. And if they can continue that into next season, I see no reason why they can't be a threat for teams in the championship. All credit to them, played fantastically well tonight. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching them play football. Some of the goals were sublime. And Joe Cardle getting on the score sheet was a tremendous moment for myself as well. Zach Grudden was my man of the match. Brian Graham played fantastic as well. And just a tremendous team performance, and one that's highly worthy of winning a league title, as I said. So, 2 seasons down for Falkirk. If they cannot go up via the playoffs, that is a tremendous feat, really, for a club like Falkirk. But and yes, that is indeed Partick confirmed champions. They're celebrating because of that fact. They can no longer be catched by any team below them. So that's them up into the championship next season, and that is every league confirmed champions. Queen's Park going up for League 2 into League 1. Partick Thistle going up for League 1 at the championship. Hearts going up for the championship to the Premiership, and Rangers, of course, confirmed as champions in the Premiership. So, and Brechin, I've just seen, have been defeated 3-0, I think, by Annan. So, John Mitchell might get his wish by seeing Brechin go down. So, cheers for watching, lads. It's been a very good stream. Decent numbers in this stream tonight as well. And I've thoroughly enjoyed watching the game. Cheers to everyone for coming in and joining in the chat and stuff. And hopefully we'll be back with another stream relatively soon for maybe a couple of different playoff games. It won't be the Dunfermline ones, because I'll be with my dad watching those. But cheers for coming in and watching, and I will be back on your screens very soon once again. Cheers, guys.